is going to go from here into the ice, and it's going to start to melt the ice, and eventually the ice is just going to warm up, right? So what have I got to do to that ice to get it so I can get this? Because this cream is going to have to get at least, I'm saying it's probably going to get, it's got to get about near 10 degrees below Celsius in order for it's got milk in it. Milk free, it takes, it's hard for it to freeze. What have I got to do to that ice?
Crush it.
But still, even if I do that, I can't get that just ice alone. I can't get it to anything below zero because that's where ice melts, is at zero and freezes. So I've got to do something to that. That's where the salt is. Okay? Because without salt, you can't do this. It's not going to happen. Okay, you get really, really cold liquid cream, but you're not going to get ice cream. You have got to put some salt in there. Now, salt is sodium chloride. There's the sodium, there's the chlorine. Sodium chloride. Okay, I'm going to put the sodium chloride, I'm going to put the salt in. Now, what is the salt going to do to this ice? What it's going to do, for reasons that I'm not going to go into because they get a little kind of complicated, but what it does is it makes the freezing point of the ice go down to about somewhere around, you can get it down to about 10 degrees below 0 Celsius. So by putting salt in, the freezing point of the ice is no longer 0. It's now 10 below 0 before it'll freeze. And you say, well, but wait a minute, Steve. When we go out on the driveway in the winter, we put salt on the ice out there, and it melts the ice, right? Isn't it heating the ice up? Isn't the salt like heating up the ice? You might think so. You might think so. Well, let's go back to this idea. All right, I've got my snow out on my driveway. That's snow. Okay, if it helps, there, snowflake. So, and I'm going to put some salt out there. And let's say the snow, it's snowing and it's not particularly cold out. And so let's say the snow is at 0. It's sitting out there and it's 0. It's not, you know, a terrible winter's day. And the air is 0. Okay? No big deal, right? The snow stays, the air stays, everything, nothing changes, right? You're at equilibrium. Everything's just fine, okay? If I put some salt out, if I want to melt the snow, I'm going to put some salt on here. So now I'm going to put some salt out on the snow, on my sidewalk to melt it, right? But the air temperature doesn't change. And the snow's not getting any warmer. You may think it's getting warmer because it's melting. You can see it. Oh, it's melting, right? But it's not the salt that's making it warmer. What's happening? Let's think this through. I put salt in. The salt is now mixed in with the snow. What happens to the freezing point of that snow? It goes down, right? So now the freezing point of the snow is somewhere 10 below 0 Celsius. Okay? So now the air is 10 degrees warmer than it takes for this to melt. So when we had this here, how much of a temperature, how much of a heat difference was there? None, right? It's even. How much of a heat difference is there now? 10 degrees. So what's going to happen to the heat from the air? It's going to go into the snow and cause it to melt. Because things don't melt without heat, right? Where's the heat coming from? It's coming from the air. Well, the air isn't that warm. It doesn't have to be. It's 10 degrees warmer than the snow. So the heat is now traveling this way. Yeah?
Okay. You remember when you told us what temperature it took to freeze the pop bottle? If we put a pop bottle in the freezer,
right.
Like what temperature would that have to be? If we took a pop bottle, stuck it in the cooler, but then instead of like throwing ice on it, instead we use something colder like a fire engine or a fire, whatever it's called, that you put out smoke, comes in a little red.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we used that and we sprayed it into there and kept it really close. Would that actually freeze it?
It depends on what the chemical that you're putting in there. If that freezing temperature is lower than 0 or just above, yeah. It depends on what you put in there. But yes, you could do that. It just depends on where things have different freezing points. But look at the temperature difference. Now it's 10 degrees difference. So the heat goes from the air into the snow, and the snow starts to melt. Now, you ever notice anything about when they talk about they put salt out on the roads in the winter to melt them and all that, right? It only works until the air gets to be about what? 10 degrees below. And then road salt doesn't work anymore. When it's 10 degrees below 0 Celsius, okay, which would be somewhere around 18 Fahrenheit, somewhere in there. When it gets to be that, salt doesn't work. It doesn't melt. Why? Because now, if I were putting salt, this is my snow, I put salt on it, now the snow will melt at 10 degrees, but now the air is 10 degrees below. Guess what? There's no heat difference, right? And so nothing melts. There's no heat to go from the air. Everything's balanced. Okay, you say, well, what's that got to do with the ice cream? I think many of you are getting there. Okay, now we're back here to our ice cream, right? So here we go. I put salt in the ice, right? I didn't put any salt in the ice cream because then it'd be different, right? So I put salt in the ice, and now this ice is at its freezing point, is at 10 below. But the ice cream is still going to be a 0, or maybe if I got warm half and half out. I mean, I could get warm up and put it there, really wouldn't matter. And I could put in, maybe it's, I don't know, 5 above. But now look at the temperature difference, right? But which way is the heat going to move? Is it going to move this way to this way? Or this way to this way?
Ice cream to the ice.
From to the ice. So it's going to move into the ice, which causes the ice to melt, right? And as long as the ice is melting, that's a good thing. When you run out of melted ice, that's a bad thing. Because that's what's absorbing. So the heat is being absorbed. Well, it's also being absorbed from the air too, but that's why you usually insulate those things. And so now you're absorbing it out from the ice cream. So the ice cream is losing its heat. The ice is gaining its heat, but we aren't going to eat that, so we don't care, right? So now this is going to drop down. This will get down to about the freezing point of milk, which is around negative 10 Celsius, somewhere in there. And now you've got ice cream. Okay? So get stuff out of your head about exothermic, endothermic reactions. This isn't a reaction really going on. All you've got is you reduce the freezing point of the ice so that now everything around the ice is warmer than the ice. And the ice's melting point. The heat gets absorbed into it, and boom, the ice starts to melt, and it sucks the heat in from everything around it. Just like a refrigerator sucks all the heat out of whatever you put into it. So a refrigerator is a heat sucker, right? Maybe you don't talk about putting stuff, hey, would you guys put the leftovers in the heat sucker? No, we call it a refrigerator. That's what it does. This is the same thing. It's a heat sucker. It's going to suck the heat out of here because the freezing point here is much higher than the freezing point. Okay, questions? Okay, great. Now you got the dull part out of the way. Now you get to make some ice cream. Now, making the ice cream is really not all that difficult. I've got all the stuff laid out in the back, and I've got the ingredient list. Now, what the instructions call for is that they said you're supposed to have a metric balance, which I brought one. But it only goes up to 400 grams, which is a little bit less than a pound. So you can't weigh the whole ice bag, it would probably be too heavy. But basically all you're going to do is you're going to take I've got half and half in the fridge, so it's already pretty cold. So it won't take as long. So I've got some half and half in the fridge, and there's a half cup measure. You're just going to you've got 2 Ziploc bags, that's all it is. You take the small Ziploc bag, and you put half a cup of the half and half in, half of the half and half, that works. I've got a big spoonful, you take a big spoonful of sugar. If you want it sugar-free, okay, go for it. But
it helps the medicine go down,
yeah,
so put the sugar in.
Put the sugar in it, put a little, you just open the vanilla and dump just a little, maybe a capful of the vanilla. It's just cheap vanilla stuff, it's not as strong.
A capful would be that would work.
That'd be fun.
I've done it before.
That's basically it. You put that in a small bag. You don't just shake it up. We'll just seal it real tight because you don't want salt water getting into it because then it's all gucky. That's a very technical term. And then in the big bag, you put some, I got a whole ton of ice in there. You put as much, just pack the ice around in there, get a bunch, and because it'll work faster, and then put some salt in. How much? Oh, a couple of big spoons, just dump some in. It'll be fine. And what you're going to do then is you're going to start moving the bag around. This isn't active. You don't just watch it because it's just like the churn one, that you've seen. If you don't move it and stir it, then only the outside part of the cream freezes and the inside is still liquid. So you got to move it around. I brought a couple. It says in there, and I'm sure you didn't read it, that they're to bring some winter gloves. I brought a couple of pairs because you grab that bag, it's going to be what? About 18 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees below eventually, and it's going to suck heat out of your hands, right? And they're going to get really cold. So you just kind of keep moving that thing around, turn it, tumble it, seal everything real well, and you'll know. It'll be, the best you'll get is about the consistency of a milkshake, a little bit more. Got some plastic cups, some spoons, some chocolate syrup if you're into that sort of thing. And then we were gonna weigh it before and afterwards to see if there's any difference. Because there's a thing, an objective in there stating about conservation of matter. But if you want to, what I would do is take the bag of milk and stuff and weigh it. And then right before you eat it, take it out of the other bag and weigh it again and see if it changed its mass at all. And if you don't know how to use the balance, I'll show you something. All right, so you can pass the gloves back and forth if you need it, or whatnot.
Or if you want to prove your manliness, you can just do it without them. But
so this is a great time. You can socialize. You can, turn the ice cream around, whatever, and we'll see how long it takes. I'm thinking, I don't know, 15 minutes probably, somewhere in there. And, it depends on how liquidy you like it. So, hop right over there when you're ready. Get your stuff mixed up, and it's going to be a little messy.
I'll trade places with you, Kurt.
Come on.
So I'll take video of you guys making it. So I think it'd be fun.
Yep. Save the box, just put them in first.
We're celebrating because we're celebrating my birthday.
Because he's an old man and it's fun. Yep, Steve turns 50 on Tuesday. You're welcome. He's still a young lad.
No, he's not.
Well, I can see some really unprofessional.
Come on, 50 is the new 25.
When you're using the cream, I'm gonna...
So you got the half and half right there? Sweet. I bought plenty of ice, so.
You gonna make some?
Yeah, I'll try.
You should be there. I've got a half a gallon.
I let the experts figure it out first, and then somebody can show you how to do it.
No, I'm a... You want to come over and watch it? And I'm not...
You can add Cheeto flavored ice cream. You can crush up some Cheetos and put it in there.
I'm glad we collaborated to agree to do this project. This sounds like a fun project.
I bet it's good. Just like chocolate card. Oh,
Cool. Thought yours will be very vanilla-y. Oh, good.
Here, do you need it? Here, I can open it.
Yeah, I can't really do it with one
If
hand.
someone wants to film what you guys are doing. Push it real good. Ow! Okay.
It's not just me. That is being difficult.
I have mighty jaws. Yes! Don't worry, I wiped off my cooties. It's not a problem.
You like lots of sugar. You're right.
Did you measure the sugar out, or were you just like, yeah, it's sugar?
Yeah, it's sugar. I'm okay.
Yeah, it's sugar.
Alright, so that's...
That's a lot of ice.
Yeah, well, we got that.
So did you already put the salt in?
Yep. Oh, I put mine in. To the bottom.
Look at that.
Yeah, let's give you that.
Sounds like a Yahtzee bingo tournament in here.
Yeah.
Shake it, yeah. Oh, you got the gloves on? Good idea. You gonna put chocolate sauce on yours, Angel? Sweet. No.
Good luck on your mission.
How are you eating yours, John?
I don't know. I need to add vanilla first because I forgot to do that.
Oh, but you put yours in a cup.
Yes, I
All right.
No, over by
I got a
the.
bag all set up for you.
Well, what do you want to put in this bag, though?
Yours coming out okay,
Small
Kurt?
bag, you put your milk and your vanilla and
Here.
your salt, or the sugar.
Here. Let me hold that for you.
And then bring it over here.
Oh man, yours is solid. Sweet. Could put chocolate sauce on it?
No.
Cool. Did you put sugar in yours?
Yeah.
Alright. I don't think anyone went sugar free. I figured no one would go sugar free.
Air out?
Yeah, you got most of that. You're good.
Okay.
Just make sure you get it sealed really.
What do you have the spoons?
Success.
Alright, thank you.
I feel like we
Here you
have.
go, Kurt. No problem.
In there and
I feel like I
All right,
can now eat this without worrying.
I want to know how yours tastes. Is yours good?
I could have added just
Oh, yours got thick. Wow, yours is really thick.
Matt, are you
I could have added a little more vanilla.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Either someone put in too much or not enough.
Oh, Mr. Bailey,
You want to shake my
you put in too
ice?
much.
Yeah, Mr. Brown is good at putting a little too much of everything in. So,
I'm always
tastes good?
trying.
Sweet. So you think was this fun?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we do more. I'm hoping that we do more projects like this, especially with food, where food's involved. I think that'd be fun. So we had quite a few people make ice cream. Steve, how'd yours come out? Did it come out yet?
I got impatient and it didn't freeze up.
Oh, I'm gonna look at what time to go.
But I like it that way. I like milkshake.
Did you put too much vanilla in it? I heard you put too much vanilla in it.
Maybe a little bit. But it was good.
So yeah, I heard that mostly everybody's came out really, really well. So sweet.
I mean, I don't even drink. I drink skim milk. I mean, I drink really skim milk. So it's like,
Did you come back?
if I drink regular milk, it's like,
Yeah. So do you think we should do this again, Steve?
oh yeah, definitely.
Sweet. So this is the ice cream project. So we're hoping to do this again sometime.
Get on the ice cream project. We're going to get the video uploaded to help you get the standards. But get on there and do the write-up for it.